As we get into the middle of the ice fishing season, one may be looking to get some new ice fishing equipment. Here this morning to show off some cool new equipment and toys is the owner of Kurt's Island Sport Shop in Minocqua, Kurt Justice. Good morning, Kurt. How are you doing today?
Thank you. Doing good.
There's been a good ice pack for about 2 months now in the Northwoods. How's the ice fishing season been?
It's been going pretty good. We had we had some early snow. It was making us a little nervous, but we had that nice warm up about a month and a half ago that knocked down that first snow, let everything refreeze. We got pretty good ice base in a lot of places, so it's been a good season.
Good. And so brings me to my next question. What are most fishermen catching at this time?
Well, we're getting a midwinter period. Early season, most people are targeting walleyes and northern pike, but as those fish start to move out into the deeper water and become a little bit less active, we're seeing more anglers targeting crappies, yellow perch, some bluegills.
Gotcha. All right. So last time I was out was in mid-January, and there was 18 to 24 inches of ice on Boom Lake. So with that in mind, what are some good ice safety tips as the season goes on?
Well, when you've got that much, when you get 16, 18 inches and more, that's safe for driving full-size trucks. It's always good to be careful wherever you go. I will say at the same time that every lake doesn't freeze the same.
Yes.
Smaller lakes sometimes you'd think would be better, but they get snow on top, which creates an insulation layer and keeps that water from freezing. If there's springs that you don't know about that can cause ice not to build up as well. We were talking about you seeing 18 to 24 inches. My wife was out last week and found a lake that only had 10 inches. Okay. I was out checking lakes out yesterday, and we were running 14 to 15 inches. So just to tell everybody, hey, it's time to get out in your truck and drive all over. Not quite yet, but if you see somebody else has been out, I'd go out and drill a hole just to check.
So now you also brought in some really cool toys, ice fishing supplies. Could we go through them?
Sure. Yeah. So when people first started ice fishing, they were using obviously a line to tie the hook and a piece of bait with. All it really needed back then was a stick, with something to hold a little line. It used to be a couple of pegs. Now they started using these little plastic reels, and then little bite indicators, either a styrofoam bobber or later on it became a spring that showed the bites coming up a real light bite would show up like on a panfish. Okay. Very handy. And then got a little bit more complicated, started using the same kind of reels we'd use in the summer, spinning reels. This particular reel has a unique feature, is it's got what's called a bait runner, so that you can put this in a rod holder, and if a fish bites, it can run and pull a line out until you come up and turn the handle, and then all of a sudden the drag kicks in, and it won't pull so easy, and you can set the hook and fight the fish. Gotcha. These have become real popular with items that help set the hook, like jaw jackers and stuff. So very, very innovative type of reel. They're called bait runners. In between, and I've kind of in between this style and this rod and reel has been tip downs. Tip downs are another way to fish. Here in Wisconsin, we're allowed 3 lines per person. So you can fish with your regular jig pole in your hole here, but you can drill a second or third hole and put a tip down out. Very well balanced, so that just the slightest little indication of a bite and the rod will drop. And as that rod starts to drop, that fish is running with it. When all of a sudden it gets to the very end, here, that little jolt typically sets the hook. Great way to fish for crappies and perch. Especially midwinter. The one downside, when it's really cold and the holes are freezing up, it's not as good. We see a lot more use of this in early and late ice.
Would the wind also cause it to tip down as well?
Yeah, so whenever we set them up, I always set them facing the wind. So the wind will blow towards it. If the wind's coming from this side, it's going to blow and give you some false strikes.
So if someone wants more information on Kurt's Island Sports Shop, where can they go?
We can go to kurtzislandsports@gmail.com. That's our email address, or kurtzislandsports.com, and check out our website or our Facebook.
All right, Kurt, we appreciate you coming in today, and good luck ice fishing for the rest of the season.
Thank you.